Hi, I'm Dr. Chuck with Your Filthy Mouth. Hollywood is finally starting to get it. Stay tuned and find out how.
Your smile is beautiful and possibly deadly. Dr. Chuck is here to tell you how your mouth can hold the key to your overall health. Now, about that filthy mouth of yours.
Hi, welcome to Your Filthy Mouth. I'm Suzanne Lynn with Dr. Chuck. And like you said in the beginning, we're so excited because Hollywood is finally getting the message.
Finally. A few weeks ago, there was a portion of the episode from New Amsterdam where there was a lady who had been having trouble with her rheumatoid arthritis. It wasn't responding well. So one of the doctors there brought her some floss. And her response was,
I don't floss, and that's why I stopped going to my dentist.
She kept lecturing me. I didn't want to hear it anymore.
Right.
And so the older doctor just kind of smiled and,
wait a minute.
And then shortly after that, in the next scene, there was a younger doctor with nice glasses and a flashlight looking into the mouth and said, oh, yeah, there's an abscessed molar back there. And the older doctor was like, yeah. And the lady was, what's that got to do with anything?
Right.
And this is where it was interesting because they were explaining what we've been talking about this whole time, is that the infection from the tooth is getting bacteria into her bloodstream, which is affecting her rheumatoid arthritis. And that's why it wasn't responding. All the medication that she was taking for a long time was for the infection, not for the rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah.
How often do you ever see that on Hollywood, on television? It was perfect.
I feel like we've crossed over a huge hurdle with this. I mean, people will listen to that. Now maybe they'll say, hey, could that be happening to me? Could I be on high blood pressure because of what's happening in my mouth? You know, and I remember in the scene, matter of fact, we've got it on Dr. Chuck's Facebook, Your Filthy Mouth, or his website, yourfilthymouth.com. Go there and check it out. Check the scene out. We tried to put it on YouTube. We tried to put it on Facebook, and boom, we were just it just taken off right away. But
it's 1 minute.
Exactly. It's 1 minute. My favorite part, you'll have to go see it. Again, yourfilthymouth.com, when she says, all this medicine, all these years. And he said, So,
all the doctors, all the time.
That's right.
So, but we're trying to help people connect the dots. Today I was talking, I talked with a group of physicians today about this subject, and I showed them the clip. And I said, now there's two mistakes there's one mistake that I see if you can find another mistake in it. Okay. And so as they looked through it, the one of them said, they talk about how the abscess caused the bacteria. And I was like, no, it's actually just the opposite. Okay. The bacteria is what causes the abscess. Okay. And so then, of course, the bacteria get into the bloodstream. The second thing was you can't diagnose a abscessed molar from 3 feet away with a flashlight looking in the mouth, unless it's just blowing up. And if it is, the patient's going to know about it.
Right.
But
or if you're in Hollywood.
Or if you're in Hollywood, yeah. Right. But other than that, the message was beautiful. So spread the word if you can. New Amsterdam, lady with rheumatoid arthritis, and it was not responding. And once they found out the source of it, life can get better.
Yeah. It was actually the very first one of the season of 2019, so you can check it out. But really, go to yourfilthymouth.com for so many more reasons than just that clip. I mean, we've got some cool things that you can get. We want to know your questions. What is happening? If you're listening to this through radio or internet or however you're consuming this, have you heard any of the episodes and it's helped you make some changes? Have you found out maybe more about water picks or brushing time, that, you're spending more time brushing? Like, how has this show, how has Your Filthy Mouth affected your lifestyle?
Well, that's exactly what we want to find out. Are you making any personal changes because you found out, oh my goodness, the health of my mouth makes that big of a difference on my overall health? Yes, it does. Yeah. So are you making any changes? And are you seeing any results? That's what we want to know, too. Yeah. Are you getting off of any medications once you get your mouth good and healthy? There's a lot of things you can do at home for free. There's other things that you're going to need the help of a dentist. So you can't do it all by yourself. Once you get things really healthy, you can do the majority by yourself. It takes 5 to 10 minutes to properly clean your teeth. You can't do it in 2 minutes. You can't do it in 30 seconds. Right. Your electric toothbrush has a timer on the handle that goes off maybe every 30 seconds or 2 minutes, but you can't do the whole mouth. So just because the timer goes off, that just means 2 minutes is up. That doesn't mean you're finished. So
that means restart it.
That means, there you go. So, and the way you can make sure that you're doing a good job, because this is such an important subject, if you take a test that is never graded, how do you know how good you did?
Right.
Well, plaque is the same color as teeth. How do you know you got it off? And that's where I'm back to the disclosing tablets. If you can chew those things up and swish it around, rinse your mouth out with a little bit of water, and take a look in there, you'll be shocked when you see just what you're probably leaving back in there, because that's all bacteria that's getting into your bloodstream that affects not just rheumatoid arthritis, but cardiovascular disease, heart attacks, strokes, diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, which we mentioned, pregnancy complications, erectile dysfunction. That has to do with it. So it's the whole body. So this is why we want to find out if you're keeping your mouth a whole lot cleaner, are you getting any results? And that's what we want to know.
You know, this seems like a great time to revisit the story you told me a long time ago about the woman that came in and she was all hunched over and she had changed her lifestyle and she wasn't feeling well. Would you mind? Because that kind of reminds me of the whole New Amsterdam. She had been fighting all these medical things, came into you. Would you share that story again?
Well, yeah, this is a lady who was on dialysis. And the nurses were having a real hard time getting the bleeding to stop when they unhooked her from the dialysis. Her medications weren't working really good. She had absolutely no energy. And so finally, thank goodness, she had a toothache. She hadn't thought about seeing a dentist for years.
Oh, wow.
Because nothing hurt. The number one reason people don't see a dentist is not pain. It is not expense. It is not fear. It's a lack of pain. Nothing hurts. I'm fine. So she, for years, nothing hurt in her mouth, so she didn't see a dentist. Finally, she had a toothache. And when she did, she had to find a dentist. And it happened to be us. So the first time I saw her, she looked a mess. And when she opened her mouth, it was even worse.
Wow.
I mean, there were broken teeth, severe gum disease, decay everywhere. It was disaster. We put her on antibiotics. We got the infections under control. Then we removed the infected teeth. Within 3 weeks, and that's all we did was take out the infected teeth. Within 3 weeks, no more problems with the bleeding on the dialysis. Her medications were working better. She had pep in her step. She was an artist. She hadn't wanted to draw for 2 years. She's drawing again. She got her life back. So what medications did we use? A few antibiotics, and then removing the source of the problem, not just the symptom, but the source. It changed her life.
Yeah.
That's just one. I mean, there's a lot of them. So it's
Wow.
if you can just grasp how important it is for the front door of your body to be healthy, then maybe that can make some lifestyle changes, which could have some really good results for you and your whole family.
All right, let's come back with a question of the week.
Here's Dr. Chuck's question of the week.
Hey, this is Steve. What exactly is a cavity?
Steve, that's a great question. We always hear about cavities, but I've never stopped to think about what is a cavity.
What is a cavity? Everybody has bacteria in their teeth. When the bacteria sticks to the teeth, we call it plaque. As the plaque accumulates and gets a bit thicker, it gives off byproducts. And one of the byproducts is different acids. The acid demineralizes the tooth. It kind of dissolves it away a little bit. And little by little by little, you start demineralizing the enamel on the outside. As the bacteria colony grows and gets more towards the next layer is called dentin, which is a lot softer than the enamel on the outside. It just picks up. So it's a bacteria colony that's growing, that's demineralizing and destroying whatever it's in its path. And as it goes deeper and deeper, because it just continues growing, there's nothing to stop it. Once it gets into the nerve of the tooth, which is in the middle of the tooth, that's when you have an infection and you need to do a root canal on the tooth. So let's not let the bacteria colony on the outside of the tooth progress. Let's take care of it once on the outside. So what is a cavity? It's bacteria eating away your tooth. It's kind of like tooth rot, like wood rot. I mean, it's but something is causing it. It's the bacteria. So if you take care of the bacteria, you don't have the cavities.
Well, that sounds good. Steve, great question. Thank you. I guess I never thought about that.
Yeah.
If you've got a question like Steve, we're going to send you your Filthy Mouth mug. And send us your questions. And, if we pick your question to use on the air, we will send you a mug as well. So just kind of as a recap, we're talking about Hollywood finally getting it and sharing the message on New Amsterdam, the season opener. I forget what you call that.
2019, the opening episode. Yeah.
Talking about, this woman who had actually ended up having an abscessed tooth, and that was causing a lot of her medical problems.
And what was interesting, it was the physician telling her this information. What she had said earlier is, yeah, my dentist's been telling that. That's why I stopped seeing her, because she wouldn't stop lecturing
Stop
me.
seeing her.
When the physician
Right.
told her, hey, you've got an abscessed tooth and that's causing the problem, it changed everything. So sometimes who is the messenger, that makes a difference. And the physician, they have a little bit more authority with people. You know, you're just a dentist, you're not a real physician. Well, we're a specialist of the mouth. Yeah, of the mouth. But it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So we're just glad that they're spreading the word and getting the message out there.
And how exciting if we could share that message with our physicians as we're going to say, hey, did you see that episode of New Amsterdam? You should check it out on Your Filthy Mouth and look at it, that this woman's problems were caused by what was happening in her mouth.
And there are literally hundreds of thousands of people that have the exact same thing going on, but they're just unaware because there is no pain. 90% of dental infections have no pain. The lady on the TV show, she didn't have any pain.
Right.
But yet you've got the bacteria getting into the bloodstream. So it's a big deal.
It is a big deal. Okay, once again, check it out. Simply go to yourfilthymouth.com. Look at the clip. We are so excited about it. And there's a whole lot of other stuff to see. If you're pregnant, we've got a show on pregnancy and Alzheimer's and how to have a real good exam for the first time. There's all kinds of episodes on there. So just check it out, yourfilthymouth.com, and we will see you next time.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Have a great night.
This has been Your Filthy Mouth, a weekly podcast about how what happens in your mouth affects the rest of your body. This is important information, so please share it with your friends. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on YouTube, iTunes, and all the other podcast sites. And drop by yourfilthymouth.com to ask Dr. Chuck a question or find dozens of links to information about oral systemic health. We'll talk to you next week.